Hi, my name is André and welcome at yourguitarworkshop.com. Last week we started to work on slow dancing in a burning room, the Live in LA version. I love that version. There is a lot of great stuff in there. I love the intro, but we already covered that. But today we're going to be working on the part that leads up to the verse and the first verses. There's going to be using the flat pick, because even though the intro is played with his fingers, he switches to picking with the flat pick once the main theme comes in. The tabs for this video I have on my Patreon page for download for patrons. And I don't know, let's just get started, I guess. All right, so what do? You start off with a slide from 9 to 11 on your A string with your middle finger, and you hold that, and then you play 9 on G. And good to know is that the intro we played with our fingers, you can continue to do that. I'm going to be playing it with a pick because that's what he does, so that's what I do. Anyway, so we got... This is our first interval that we're playing. Then with our thumb, we fret 9th position of E, so we play C sharp there. And then we play that C sharp minor chord. So that's middle finger in 11 of A, ring finger 11 of D, and then index finger 9 on G and B. Remember those intervals that we talked about in the first video, where you play. So we have a minor third interval with index finger in 9 of G and ring finger in 11 of D. Going to a major third interval with index finger on 8 of G and middle finger in 9 of D. Then we get a fourth interval, 11th position ring finger on A and D, and then a fourth interval on 9th position of A and D. It's like this. And you can just play that with downstrokes. You do slide into the first one. So then you go to the A chord, and to be honest, either he plays it, because I couldn't see that from the video, so either he plays it hybrid picking, where he plays the low E string with his pick, and G and B with middle finger and ring finger, or he just strums it, and that's what I'm going to be doing. The chord that he frets for that is thumb on 5th of E, so you play A there, then pinky on 7, index finger on 7 of D, index finger on 4 of G, and middle finger on 5 of E. And then you make a hammer on with your ring finger in 6, like this. Then you play, after that, you play 4 and 5 of G and B. Like this. So you remove that ring finger. Then I play the next chord, which is open E with D and G on 4th and middle finger on 5 of B. And my index finger mutes the A string. So I just strum it, and then I make a hammer with my ring finger in 6th position of that D. Right? So you got. So until there, we got this. 1, 2, 3. Then, with your ring finger already in 6th position of that D string, you play that, and then you slide it all the way up to 11. And then you play 9th of G and B. So like this. Then you fret that 9th position of low E, so we're going to that C sharp minor chord again. So play the chord, the same double stops or intervals. Then you play the following thing. So what do? You fret A on the 5th E string, sorry, so that's 5th position of E. Then have your ring finger in 6, and index finger is a bar on 4 of D and G. You play that first interval with that ring finger on the D and 6, but then you make a pull-up like this. Then pinky plays 7 of A, play 4 on D and G with your index finger again. It's like this. And then you play low E and 7th position of that A string. Like this. So the second time around, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Then you get the following riff. So what do? You start off with playing 9th position of G and B. But you make a hammer on an 11 with that ring finger on the G string. So then you play 9 again. Then you play 9 on D. And then hammer on 11. So like this. And then you fret that C sharp minor chord again. Then you get that following riff. So you play on A string, 9, hammer on 11, then 9 on D, back to 11 of A. Then you play that double stop on G and B, 9th position index finger, and make that hammer on again on 11 on the G. Back to 9 on G, then 11 on D. So together that comes to this. Then you go to that A chord and you play. So I play E string, D string, and then G and B together. And then I play that E chord. And I make sure that I mute that A string. Then after that, you get sort of a little riff. So and what do? So you have that E chord. You play G, B, then D string, pull off to 4th position on that D, and then play 7th position A string. So like this. And then you go back to that C sharp minor chord, so you fret the bass first. Then you get the following double stops. What I do is I fret 9th position of G, B, and E, and I make a hammer on with my ring finger in 11th of G. And so I make that hammer on. Then I play 9th position again of B and G. And then I do the same thing on strings D, G, and B. So. Then I fret that 5th position of E again. Then middle finger plays 6th on D. Make a hammer with your ring finger to 7. And then I play the rest of that A chord, which is middle finger and 6 of G and index finger 5 of B. So like this. Finishing off with that E chord. So starting on that C sharp minor chord, so now in the live in LA version, somebody else plays the harmonized part. So that's what we'll look at right now. In other live versions, John Mayer plays all this stuff on his own, so he skips part of what we just did. But in the live in LA version, he has an extra guitar player, so he is playing the harmonized part, and as I said, that's what we're going to be looking at right now. All right, so how do you play that? These are just intervals that are taken from the Aeolian scale. So as I mentioned at the start of this video, I did a video, I don't know, like last week, where we looked into transforming your pentatonic scale into the Aeolian mode. And of course, this is all on a single string, but these intervals are moving diatonically. So it's really good to practice these intervals separately and sort of get a handle on them, because they're super useful for these kinds of things. Okay, so how does he play it? So first of all, he starts with a minor third with index finger on 12th position of E and ring finger in 14th of B. Then he plays another minor third interval, but then everything a whole step up. And then you slide towards a major third interval with middle finger on 16 of E and ring finger on 17 of B. So like this. Then you play that interval once more, sliding in from below. Then back to the previous two minor third intervals, and then going to a major third interval with index finger on 11 of E and middle finger 12 of B. Like this. Then you slide into the first minor third interval, back to that major third one, to minor third interval with index finger on 7 and ring finger on 9. So let's play that once more. 1, 2, 3. Then you repeat that. And then you get you go straight to that minor third interval with index finger on E, sorry, 7th. Another minor third interval, a whole step down. And then finishing off with a major third interval with index finger in 4th on E and middle finger 5th on B. So like this. All right, that's it so far. I'm looking at the time, and I've got a student coming in 5 minutes, so I need to quickly remove the cameras and get going. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. If you want the tabs, go to patreon.com. I will have the tab for download over there. And that's it for today. Wishing you a great week, and hope to see you again sometime. Bye.